Hi, and happy Monday. So I don't know about you, but for me, Mondays, I like to set myself some, I call them Friday finishes. So that's one of the first things I do on a Monday morning. I sit at my desk, I get ready for the lessons, I check out my calendar, get ready for the week, and I set myself my Friday finishes. So I hope you guys also start your Monday full of determination and plans. But today, in my Going Live challenge, is day 3, and I want to give you a little bit of a talk about fear or handling fear, because I don't know where this fact comes from or if it is a fact, but apparently more people are afraid of public speaking than the fear of spiders. For sure, it's one of the most common fears that exist. I know that it's a very, very common fear, and I'm just checking from, I'm not going live to anywhere else. Okay, so yesterday, which is Sunday, I was having time to clean the house and spend time with Stella, my daughter, and our neighbor kindly gave us some fruit. I don't know what the fruit are. They kind of look like an apricot, but they have like a bitter skin like a plum, so they're kind of in between an apricot and a plum. But because I don't know what they are, what to do with them, I thought, okay, let's make a jam. And so this required cleaning them and getting out the pips, which are 3 pips, strange, but anyway. And Stella was working with me in the kitchen. We're at the sink, and I was doing the first cutting and peeling, and she was getting the pips out. And so it's a nice time for us to enjoy being together. It's all fun. And then we're chatting and just enjoying ourselves together. And then I kept one of these, whatever they are, fruits, little round fruits, and a spider jumps out. And of course, I did not expect the spider to jump out, so I like completely jumped out of my skin. It was scream, and Stella screams and jumps, and my little Jack Russell dog, a little chunky little Jack Russell, comes running in the kitchen. She knows what it sounds like when we're scared of an insect, so she runs in, barking, like ready to kill them. And my 2 German shepherds go and run and hide on their puppy bed, and Stella is like, get the spider out, it's terrifying, it's so big. And there's this poor little spider who just, has been living very happily in a tree, and a very clever spider, because it's living in the sort of like this little hollow part of this odd fruit, whatever it is, just below. And obviously it's catching bugs and things, like doing a good job, but the fruit gets picked, and then my poor little spider ends up in this plastic bag. And I thought, Jim, poor thing, but it's like struggling for its life. So I picked up the spider in a teaspoon and popped it outside, and thought, well, hopefully find something else to live in happily ever after in my garden. So we continue making the soup. Making this jam. And then I sort of realized that our joy for making the jam is significantly reduced. For me, each time, I'm not afraid of spiders at all, right? At all. I grew up with a family that was crazy about outdoor stuff and wilderness. My dad would always be studying spiders and actually had a huge collection of spiders. So I had no fear of spiders, and yet that shock of this poor little deer climbing out right in front of me, I didn't really enjoy the experience as much as we were enjoying before. Now the conversation was more around, can we just get this done? Let's just get the job done and make the jam. Stella was very, very worried. I had to check each one before she would take any more. And it made me realize, when we have something that we're afraid of, for example, public speaking, we have a fear response. When we do that thing, whether it be speaking to our sales team or to a group of people, or it just is, I have to speak up, to the bank manager, if we go in there with a mindset of fear and feeling fear, our joy is going to be significantly reduced. And when our joy is significantly reduced, our performance is reduced, and our connection with the people that we're trying to communicate with is significantly reduced. And so I just want to remind you of that, so that we lose our impact when we allow fear to come and interfere with what we're doing. And I know that spiders and public speaking are not the same thing, but they are both, I'm going to say it, irrational types of fears, because we don't need to have that fear, although public speaking is something that we have to prepare for a lot more. Speaking itself should not be a fear. And then the other realization is, look at Stella, who like seriously was a little spider, maybe even including its legs, it was as big as my thumbnail. And yet she was like, it's huge, get it away, it's terrifying, I don't want to touch the fruit anymore, and this, that, next. And I thought, you know what? How do you handle that fear? How do I teach my child how to not be afraid of things that are so small and part of the world, and have like fascinating existence anyway, like to actually show it a little bit of love and appreciation? Then we have to learn to put our fear into context. And then we also have to learn how to desensitize. So a little by little, you get better. If I had to just say, I want my child to not be afraid of spiders and grab a tarantula and put it in her hand, it would have the opposite effect. She would be truly terrified forevermore, probably, of huge spiders and how terrifying they are. But by small incremental experiences through knowledge and understanding, and you don't have to touch spiders to not be afraid of them, but to know how to scoop them up on a piece of paper and throw them out or whatever, you can really, really change the outcome, the fear experience, that response that we have, that we feel like we have no control over. So slowly desensitize and get used to things. So I really do recommend that for people who are experiencing fear of speaking up, whatever that looks like. Do small incremental steps in the right direction. Even if recording your own voice is a challenge, to listen to yourself speak, learn how to self-evaluate, that is a step. Read aloud from a book, that is a step. It's strengthening the connection between the knowledge of the word and the production of the word. Speaking to one person is a step. Joining a speaking group is a step. Volunteering to be part of some sort of community that requires you to speak, maybe a Toastmasters or a public speaking group, that is a step. Joining a chat club and meeting people around the world, those are steps that you take in the right direction that will build your resistance, your resilience, and desensitize you to that anxiety that you're feeling, and at the same time build your skills. So you build your knowledge, you build your appreciation, and you desensitize yourself to that thing that's fearful, because most of the fears that we have in this life are pretty irrational. So I hope that does help, and I hope you have a wonderful Monday. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you soon.